I'm giving my bedroom a complete aesthetic makeover because the ceiling of my apartment literally collapsed. And the first step was getting the ceiling back to where it should be, and by that I mean not on the floor. So over the past week, my landlord hired some builders and they managed to patch up the giant hole in the roof. And now I have a brand new ceiling, a completely empty room, and I was thinking it's actually the perfect opportunity for me to finally make the aesthetic bedroom of my dreams. Since, you know, I have to replace a lot of my furniture anyways. So before I make the trek to IKEA, I want to make sure I have some solid design inspiration because buying furniture is kind of a commitment. So of course, I made a Pinterest board for gathering my inspiration. And I found that there are like several design styles that I like, and I grouped them into 4 categories. I call it anime maximalist, RGB gaming, cozy minimalist, and plants. But here's the thing, I kind of freaking suck at taking care of plants, so I had to veto that one. And also, even though I love the look of RGB lights, I kind of wanted something more calming and cozy for my bedroom. So that leaves me with anime maximalism and cozy minimalism. And yes, I'm aware that those 2 words are on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, but I'm gonna do my best to try to find a balance of both somehow. I guess you could call it somewhere in the middleism. Alright, so now that I know what design style I'm going for, it's time to go pick up some furniture. And it wouldn't be a room makeover video without a trip to IKEA, right? So the first thing I was looking for was some nice display shelves, because whether you're a minimalist or a maximalist, you don't want to put your stuff on the floor. And IKEA has so many good options for this, but ultimately I decided to go for the calyx because you just can't go wrong with it. I'm pretty sure half of my Pinterest pins had a calyx somewhere in there. I also really needed a new blanket to replace the one that got wrecked with ceiling insulation. And I just love the look of the big, cozy, puffy cloud blankets. They look so warm and nice, but the best thing is, I feel like those look good even if you just toss them around randomly, and I hate making my bed, so I have to go for one of those. And lastly, I knew that I wanted some lights because I feel like that's a really important part of making a space look cozy and comfy. And I get super baited whenever I see anything on sale, so I bought this lamp. And I also picked up some random miscellaneous goodies, which I'll show you later. So yeah, I had a very, very productive trip at IKEA. Alrighty, as you guys can see, I got a huge IKEA haul, some miscellaneous Amazon packages, and also I've cleaned off my old bed frame, so that guy needs to be fixed too. First of all, let's start with the calyxes. And yes, I said calyxes plural because I may have accidentally bought 2. And when I said accidentally bought 2, I actually mean purposefully bought 2 because I just like calyxes, okay? Next up, I assembled my lamp, which by the way, has built-in cable management. What a genius invention. And it also looks super cute. Alright, and next up we've got the bed frame. I was very excited to reassemble this one because it means I don't have to sleep on the couch anymore. And if I'm gonna be sleeping here tonight, it's time to open up my first mystery Amazon package, blackout curtains. Ta-da! Alright, and time for our last big piece of furniture. Ta-da! It's a giant piece of styrofoam. Just kidding, it's actually a full body mirror. And the best thing is, no construction necessary. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, I have now finished assembling all of my big pieces of furniture, but I am so freaking tired now, so I think I'm gonna call it for the night. Haha, remember when I said I finished setting up everything yesterday? Well, turns out I completely forgot my entire desk, so let's get that set up too. Wow, one desk magically completed. This time I have actually finished installing everything, so now it's time to figure out the layout of all the furniture. Alright, so this is the first layout that came to mind, and it's a very standard bedroom layout, you know, got the bed in the center. But to be honest, it's not that cozy and also reminds me a bit too much of my old bedroom layout, so I'm gonna go with a different one. Then I tried moving my bed into the corner of the room instead. I love how cozy the bed feels, but I don't love how the calyx is blocking a lot of the window light, so I don't think this is quite the one. So for a third concept, I tried rotating the bed, but keeping it in the corner. And I gotta say, my first impression is that I freaking love it. The bed is still really cozy, but it's not blocking the window light. It's not perfect, it's still kind of annoying to get the curtains in and out, but overall, I'm really happy with it, and I think it's pretty good. Alright, so today we finally get to the best part, decorations. And I actually decided not to buy any new stuff because honestly, I have a lot of decor lying around the house, it just needs to be organized. So first of all, I decided to start with the lights because I would like to be able to see. Next up, I started decorating. First of all, I made my little Jirachi section. I love star-themed things since my name is Stella, so Jirachi happens to be my favorite Pokemon, and it felt perfect to put it next to my star-shaped lamp. I also have this cute little rabbit guy who I got from Miniso in my latest video. And lastly, I put these 2 little stuffed animals on top of the calyx because I just thought they looked really good together. Okay, so I'm gonna pause from decorating and install these wall shelves because it's getting late and I don't want to be a menace to society by drilling into the wall at 3 a.m. And speaking of drilling, I realized that I'd never talked about the reason why my ceiling fell. So the builders who came in to do the repairs took a look at it, and apparently the original builders used nails instead of screws to hold up the ceiling, and they just didn't use enough glue or something. Yeah, that was the official reasoning that we got. Anyhow, I will now return to my standard commentary. So this little shelf is the IKEA Listic shelf, and it's actually only $10. I feel like it's perfect for little minifigures. I got most of these minifigures in Japan from gachapons or blind boxes. Each gachapon toy usually costs around 100 to 300 yen, or $1 to $2 US. And you can get such adorable, high-quality little figures from them. And some of them are a bit more silly, like this cat wearing a snack bag, but still super cute. And I actually made a video of my entire $100 gachapon haul, so you should check that out after if you like them. For my 2 standard-sized wall shelves, I decided to install them above my desk area for a bit more pizzazz. Alright, well now that I've finished putting up all the wall shelves, it is time to finally open up my anime suitcase. I'm honestly so excited because it was like 10 months ago that I went to Japan. So at this point, I've kind of even forgotten what figures I bought. But yeah, let's take a look. Oh my goodness! Wait, there's so much stuff. Let's go with this pretty Miku figure first. So I figured I should explain myself a bit more for why it literally took my ceiling collapsing before I got around to unpacking my stuff. Since like freshman year of college, I've pretty much moved once per year, even after I graduated. So there's been a part of me that's like, why bother making my space look nice if I'm gonna have to take everything down not too far in the future? But while I was doing this makeover, I came to realize how silly I was being. Everything I've collected was collected with love, whether they're standees of my favorite characters from my favorite show, or a handmade roly-poly doll that I constructed in Japan. Just seeing these things around me reminds me of the good memories, and it makes me feel really happy inside. So while it's true that packing up my stuff will probably be a pain when I inevitably move again, a day or 2 of pain for a year of enjoyment seems pretty worth it. Like, just look at how cute these posters are. Also, I realize that to some of you, this entire rant probably sounds completely absurd, but if there is anyone else out there who has always dreamed of having a cozy space, but has perpetually put it off like me, I hope this video encourages you to do it, even if it's just a little bit at a time. Alright, and it is now time for the grand reveal! Here's a reminder of what the place looked like before and after. The decorations look great in the daylight, but I love the cozy vibes of the room in the nighttime even more. Also, even though I know I said I gave up on the RGB lighting, I secretly didn't because every single light bulb I used was a smart light bulb. And so now I can change the color of each light at my whimsy, and of course I had to go with a pink and blue color scheme. Oh my goodness, I'm honestly so happy with how the room turned out. I feel like it just looks so cozy from every angle, and everywhere I look there is something that sparks joy. I will admit that there are some parts that are a bit sparse, but that just means there's more room for improvement in the future. Anyhow, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and also you should check out this one, where I did a $100 gachapon haul in Japan and actually got a lot of the little minifigures that I used for decoration. Hope to see you next time! Bye!